Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. Welcome to Sit Down. Mike Mildon and Jackson Rowe here with us. Brand new docu-series on Paramount Plus, for heaven's sake. Fellas, nice to meet you. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, DJ. Good to meet you too.
So Paramount Plus is big news in the CBS family, and specifically with your docu-series. Listen, guys, I saw the first episode. I'm definitely into this one. So Mike, this is your family history here. I feel like people are going to be super intrigued by it. It's one thing to talk about it in family circles. It's another thing to put it out there for the world. So what was it like putting this whole thing together, man?
You said it really well. There was a lot of nerves that came with putting the Heaven family in the spotlight, especially when they didn't ask to be in the spotlight, but they were they were so supportive and such a lovely, warm family, as you probably saw in the first episode, that they wanted to help any way they could. For Jackson and I, solving the case was such a big part of the show, and we were kind of going to do whatever it took to do that. And yeah, I think they really wanted to see the same thing.
Jackson, you've obviously known Mike for a while and you've seen him around his family, but it's another thing to put his family out there and to really get down to the nitty gritty. So what was most fascinating to you about the whole experience?
Well, the first thing I noticed was the way Mike's voice changes when he talks to his grandpa. Got a much higher pitched voice, much like a little choir boy. The most interesting thing for me was just seeing the way that this story's been passed down between generations, how different generations handle it, and just how welcoming everyone in the Heaven family was towards me and our whole crew that were trying to solve this mystery. They really wanted an answer as badly as we did. So it was nothing but generosity and people being kind and welcoming us into their homes and just not holding anything back. So it was pretty wonderful.
You know, I think what's interesting also is we all want to know more about our family history, right? We get to a certain point, people start getting older, you want to hear those stories. But Mike, specifically with your great uncle here, he disappears, nobody knows what happens, and then people have their own theories over time. So you guys are just amateur detectives, and then suddenly you're looking at police reports and you're using the radio to try and get out there to people. So what was just the craziest part of just trying to figure this whole thing out?
The craziest part? There was a lot of crazy parts. I think we surprised ourselves with some of the things we did find out. And that was the exciting part, was just like, as you saw the first episode, my grandpa, when I asked him, like, do you think we could solve this thing? He straight up says, no. But yeah, I think just him, just as we really put our heads down and really went into the nitty gritty of like researching this thing and learning as much as we can about the case and Harold. So I think it was pretty crazy how much we did uncover, and it is really exciting. Yeah.
Jackson, can you explain how in the weeds you guys got? I mean, we have a map in front of you there to kind of lay things out in terms of what happened, but how specific did you really get with the whole discovery here?
I mean, very detail oriented, very specific. We had to know how far Harold's cabin was away from his neighbors, how far it was away from the highway that was being built, who worked at the highway, intricate details about the men they hired to work on the highway, what the kind of farmland was around where he lived. You know, there was logging going on, so did that affect the search party? There's just like a million minute details that when you watch a true crime, that information's already been sort of like sussed out and they could just sort of deliver it matter-of-factly. But for us, every little thing was like a new discovery, which was fun, but also, yeah, it just shows how much work goes into not only being a real detective, but even just making a true crime documentary. It's a ton of work.
Yeah, and I think the thing that really stood out to me is you guys come from a comedy background. You have this great admiration for the true crime phenomenon, but you put your own spin on it. So what was it like just stylizing it in such a way? Because most true crimes are dark and they're gritty and they don't make you laugh and smile. This one is a little bit different. So what was it like to put your own spin on it?
I think it was really fun. It was like playing detective was fun in itself, but as well, the way we kind of talk about the show is it's like a serious case and it's an actual family tragedy, but it's two comedians trying to solve it. So we can't help but like make each other laugh or kind of make jokes along the way. But I don't think we ever punch down or really make jokes about the material of the case. It's more the scenario we're in and the scenario we put ourselves in to kind of solve these or get forward in the case.
Yeah, and I think what we love about true crime too is when you watch and the episode's over, you talk about it with your friends and you say like, oh, I'm not sure about this detail or that detail. And we love doing that amongst ourselves and with our other friends. And so often that would devolve into funny conversations. And we thought that was just a perfect spin that hadn't been done yet, is hearing sort of funny people put a sense of humor towards something a little more serious, but also treat it with respect. So that was really what we're trying to do.
Mike, for you, what was the most difficult part of all this?
I think navigating the family and just we didn't know the journey we were going to go on to solve this case. And just, I wanted to be as respectful as possible. We really didn't have to push any hard questions onto the family or any stuff like that, but just really, there's a lot of trust involved in this whole thing and putting these people on screen, diving into subject matter that's pretty close to like, once you get up into the generations, like the older generations, they're not too far removed from Harold. Like that was their actual uncle. So just being respectful and making sure they were aware of how we were approaching this story and what we wanted to do. And even then we didn't really know what we wanted to like say with the story until we started filming. So that was interesting.
So going off that point, Jackson, what do you want to say with this story? Why do you think this will resonate with people when they check it out?
Well, I think our original thought was we wanted the audience to come along with us while we play detective, just because that's what you want to do as a true crime fan. You want to live through the people that are making the documentary. And that was our original intent. And then as we started making it, we realized just what it takes and how many different people are affected by what we're doing. It's not just about us trying to solve a case. It's not just about the Heaven family. So I think for fans of true crime, we tackle some subject matter and some themes that aren't normally tackled. I think that's really exciting. And for fans of just comedy and entertainment, there's just bingeable, repeatable, exciting episodes that keep you, engaged. So what we're trying to say is we don't really have a super profound message. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We're just putting our own spin on it and hopefully people respond to it.
Mike, I'll give you the final word here. What are you hoping people get out of this when they check out your work here?
The final word, you know how much pressure that is?
Big responsibility. Bring us home.
No, I really want people to watch it. I really want people to enjoy it. And I think it's just something that hasn't been done before as far as the warmth of the family, the comedic spin. So it's really a true crime that I don't think you've seen before. And there's a lot of true crime out there. So we are really excited for the world to finally see it.
Well, congratulations to both of you guys.
Did I mess that up? Did I mess that final word up?
No, that was perfect. That was a perfect final word. Exactly what we needed. Mike, Jackson, really nice to meet you guys. And everybody can check this out for heaven's sake, coming to Paramount Plus. Fellas, nice to meet you, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.